Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game. It's just finished Arsenal 1, West Ham United 0. Well, what a funny game that was, and we're here to discuss it. Gonzo, 93 seconds in, Jared Bowen, bang, hit the post, corner kick, good save by Leno, but a statement of intent perhaps by West Ham early doors.
Yeah, absolutely. It was exactly what we wanted. The team selection hinted that we'd have a go. We hoped in the build-up show that we would create some chances, and it sort of set the tone for what was going to happen for the rest of the game, which was we created an awful lot of chances.
Socrates hit the bar, but before that, we had a breakaway. Gonzo Fernandez, lovely ball down the right-hand side. Antonio got in behind. 2-on-1, Antonio and Allaire. David Luiz, the only defender back, and somehow we didn't even have a shot.
No, I think it was. I mean, it was a beautiful ball from Fornals on that, and he seemed so annoyed with how Antonio did. But I thought he could have played it earlier. I thought he played it behind him. He was almost. I felt he was complaining that Haller hadn't held his run and just stood still, which is fine. But he hadn't held his run and stood still. It should have been clearly evident what Haller was doing, which was moving forward. So it was just a weird thing to do, and then Antonio had a little tantrum, and it was such a massive opportunity squandered. And as somebody said on the forum at the time, we can't miss chances like this. We're gonna regret doing this. That was. We should have been 1-0 up at least at that point.
I think they're both in the wrong here. I think Antonio's pass should be better, but I think Allaire's run should be better as well. When you watch the replay, he's too close to David Luiz. He should be holding back. I think Antonio's right. He should be expecting Allaire to stop, to slow down a little bit, to give him the angle for the pass, but he doesn't. However, the pass anyway is dreadful, regardless of whether Allaire stops his run or not. And then Antonio had arguably the best chance of the game. Corner kick, Diop headed it down, and Antonio was about a yard out, but he just couldn't quite make that connection. But at half-time, Gonzo, 0-0 at half-time, what were you thinking?
I was thinking we'd blown it, actually. I thought we had so many chances. Arsenal can't be as bad as they have been in the second half. Well, they were. I thought it was. I was just so happy. It was like a morgue in there. After 24 minutes, I mean, you couldn't hear a pin drop. It's weird, a really weird atmosphere in that stadium. You would sporadically hear the West Ham fans, and clearly they made a lot of noise when they scored their goal. But I thought, this is great. We've had them under the cosh. We've been creating chances. The crowd are not making any noise at all. For once, our midfield didn't seem to be struggling with the opposition's midfield, and I was really pleased, particularly how Ngakia and Bowen had tied their attackers up down that side as well. Yes, we'd had to do some defending. I mean, Diop had done a couple of really good interceptions, some great blocks from Aaron Cresswell, and Ogbonna looked imperious, but I still kept on thinking. I couldn't help but think at half-time we may well have done ourselves a disservice here with how we just weren't clinical enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, it was very frustrating that we weren't 1-0 up. I felt we deserved to be 1-0 up. I thought we played very well in the first half. I was really happy with what I saw. Defensively, I thought we looked quite sound. I thought we were going forward with intent. We were looking at getting forward quickly and in numbers. We had a plan. And it was a funny old half for me because I felt that Antonio was... I felt they were struggling to deal with Antonio. He was involved in a lot of the build-up, but I also felt he was at fault for us missing a lot of the chances. And it's a strange one because on one side of the coin, he's the reason we're creating these chances, but on the other side of the coin, he's the reason we're missing the chances. So I thought it was a funny old... Michail Antonio performance. It's a typical Michail Antonio performance, I suppose you could say, but it's a very frustrating thing to witness, really, because he just had that little bit more composure or edge. Who would have been leading, perhaps. Same with Sebastian Allaire, actually. That pass from Noble, that really heavy first touch as well. You just think, get that first touch a bit better, and then you're giving yourself a really good shooting opportunity here. But I was happy. And then Antonio had a header in the 55th minute, low cross in from Aaron Cresswell, got flicked up by Sebastian Allaire, then Antonio headed it straight at Leno. And then we're just going to skip forward to the goal because I want to discuss the game as a whole rather than the highlights and stuff. But ball come in, Ozil knocks it over to Lacazette, puts it in the back of the net. Then about 5 minutes later, the goal got confirmed.
I don't know what took them so long. It was ridiculous, absolutely pathetic seeing all those lines and grids and squares going up. Just thinking, just get on with it. It's a goal, and I don't just say that. As a West Ham fan, I'm pretty sure the Arsenal fans will be thinking, it's a goal, get on with it. And it's, there's so much refining and improvement of that VAR. I was absolutely gutted. Of course, gutted by West Ham, but I thought up to that point our defence had been heroes, and the pick of the bunch I thought was Diop. He was going to get my man in a match again today, and I thought it was okay. And Gaki, I thought it played really well. I thought the whole defence had played well. He slipped. He did a little misdirect. He dropped with a shoulder, the geezer, made Ngaki a slip. But of course, when the ball did come over, I'm not going to even give Diop the credit by saying I think he probably thought it was offside. I don't mean Ozil being offside. Whoever the other fella was who was stood way offside.
Willock.
Nelson, was it?
I think it was Willock, but it could be Nelson.
But for him not to react to Lacazette, and you could tell he knew he wasn't playing offside, because if you look, by the time Lacazette has got about 3 meters away from him, he goes, oh, and tries to catch him. I'm pretty sure Diop will be in and have some extra training for that. He just keeps getting better by the game. I thought he was brilliant today, but that is a terrible mistake that he's made there. I was not happy with that at all.
You could see it coming, though. You could see the Arsenal goal coming, not through their play, not through what they deserved or anything, just through, as a West Ham fan, you can just see it, thinking we're missing far too many chances here. You just know what's going to happen. It was a good goal at the end of the day. It was perfectly onside. Like you say, I don't know why VAR is taking so long with all this pissing lines about and stuff. I don't know, it's a discussion for another day. Give them 60 seconds or something to watch it 3 times, and if you still don't know, you go with the on-field decision. But it's the right decision at the end of the day. It's the right call. It was a legit goal. And then Souček come on, Anderson come on, Snodgrass come on, all in the last 10 minutes or something. We couldn't quite muster up a game-defining moment to get that equaliser. It finished 1-0 Arsenal. Do you know something? I actually think that's been our best performance of the season.
Yeah, I think we're really good. It's really hard because you come away from it frustrated, because it was quite a late goal, wasn't it? I also feel more frustrated now because I thought we had complete mismanagement of the 5 minutes of extra time. We decided to play head tennis for 5 minutes. I also thought Antonio's foul on whatever it was, the 92nd minute. I think it was Ceballos. Maybe he fouled Ceballos. It was the most juvenile, stupid thing I've seen in a long, long time. It wasn't like he was breaking. There was no one there. Ceballos would have had to run past about 6 guys. He was in their half. It wasn't a threat. So he decided to give him a professional foul. And the problem was with giving someone a professional foul, we the ones that needed the extra 5 minutes injury time. Arsenal didn't need it. They were winning. And what it did is give Ceballos a whole minute to roll around, clutching whatever he wanted to clutch, pretending to be injured. I thought it was... I was fuming, actually. And as I say, he brought Souček on. Yes, he did. But we just played hoofball for the last 5 minutes. You look at it, it's head tennis. I'd love to know what percentage that last 5 minutes the ball was in the air. A significant amount. And it's really frustrating because you're absolutely right. For most of that game, we played really, really well. We were better than Arsenal. You're better than Arsenal today. We really were. I thought we were really good. And was so much to admire, and it's funny how the last little bit changes it. And I don't think it's going to particularly change player ratings or perception. It's just such a shame when you're going to play that well. Geo, what did I say at the start? I said if we get chances, we're going to have to take them, and our 2 centre halves are going to have to be switched on and play well all game. And so it proved. It just switched off for one little bit, and it's gone. And we could have scored 3-4 goals today. It was a real shame, mate. But we did play well, and Moyes got his tactics right today.
Yeah, I think the substitutions. Well, I'll get onto that in a second. But I thought we played well. I thought we played well from back to front, left to right. I thought we looked dangerous going forward. I thought Arsenal looked in trouble. I just felt that as the game got on, though, I felt we could have done with changes. I felt that the substitutions could have been made. I thought at half time, Anderson for Fornals would have been a good sub, because Fornals was on a booking. I thought Socrates was there to be got at, and Fornals just doesn't have the pace to do it. It's not his fault, but I would have liked to have seen Anderson come on to really go at him. Because we saw Antonio, he went at him in the second half, bang, got taken out, yellow card in the boot, there you go. I felt like we could have put him in that situation earlier on, if we had the right player up against him earlier on. Then I felt Noble was tiring in the second half before he got subbed. I thought he was looking a bit jaded in there, if you like. People are running all around at the minute trying to buy toilet roll and soap and stuff. Mark Noble's running around the Emirates buying free kicks. I've not seen someone win so many free kicks in one game as Noble done. But we played well. We played good. I feel it's funny actually, because Anfield, we got beat 3-2. We thought we'd done well, but you come away, because you've scored 2, you've come away and you put down 2 individual errors, and you think, okay, there's enough there. There's plenty there to pick out, feel positive about, feel confident about, and go into the Southampton game with it. I don't think we've got that feeling today. I don't feel this positivity vibe for some reason. Although we've only got beat 1-0, we've created more chances today than we did against Liverpool. I think we've arguably played better to an extent. We've looked more dangerous, but it just feels that I think the difference is at Liverpool we didn't waste chances, whereas today we've wasted so many chances, and it's perhaps worrying a little bit. You can play well as much as you want, but if you get no points at the end of the day, you get no points. You ain't going to stay up in the last day of the season because you played well at the Emirates and Anfield. You need to get goals, which gets you points and stuff. Today is a bit of a... I don't know. I feel like I'm more positive than you. I feel you're quite sad, almost disappointed, but almost sad.
I'm annoyed. I'm irritated. Actually, I am irritated with that. I think Liverpool. I thought their goals were lucky. I thought Salah won't score a goal like that. I thought Fabianski had a bad thing. I think they had the deflected thing as well. So I think you can look at that and think that there's an injustice. And you come away from it, but well done manager, well done players. It was bad luck and so on and so forth. I think today, you can just say that was
our own fault.
Our own fault, players, and particularly the players. I thought there today, and I think it is annoying. I was really annoyed. I was really annoyed with that. I can't get over it. I thought our in-game management was so good up to that point. And because we've been so good and we created chances, it got to 5 minutes. I thought, well, hold on a second, this game's not over. We got 5 minutes. Well, great. We can score a goal here. We really can. To see it deployed and play out like that, why are we now doing things differently? What is going on? Why is it just constantly in the air? And then there was even one point where Ngakia pulled wide. He was in loads of space, and all Fabianski had to do was roll it to him. We could have gone up and again. No, he hoofed it up to Anderson, who invariably didn't win the header. And there was even a point where Henderson was up there contesting headers. Bosh. They probably thought, well, this is lovely. Yes, we had a lot of tall players on the pitch. We did. Sorchek was on at that point. Haller's tall. Diop, I don't need to go through the height, but I'm sure West Ham's average height was a lot bigger than Arsenal. But that being said, I'm pretty sure Arsenal would have thought, wow, this is fine, because what it does is when you turn it into a little bit more of a physical contest, it allows them to roll around and get the free kicks. And actually, you're quite right about Noble. Noble bought a lot of free kicks today. I thought Noble looked like somebody who's played 500 plus games, because he used experience to win free kicks. But there was a momentum shift from that point, which was actually we went from being the smart switched on team to the dumb desperate ones hoofing it up the pitch. I thought it was ridiculous, actually.
I think we just turned desperate. It was a case of, well, for 85 minutes or so, we've been trying to not pass into the back of the net, but we've been doing the proper way. We've been playing football. It's not worked, so we've got 5 minutes left on the clock plus whatever's added on. Let's just launch it and hope something sticks a little bit. But I don't know. I'm just really frustrated with Antonio in particular for the first half. The lack of substitutions in the second half. I felt at 0-0, I thought the game was there for a taking. I thought that, to me, there was two obvious ones. One was for Niles, for Anderson. The second one was just Noble. He was just getting tired. I thought he'd done okay, Noble. He wasn't good, but I thought he was okay. But the game was starting to stretch a bit. Before they got their goal, it was starting to get a bit end to end. It was almost like we had 4 players up and the rest were back, and it was a case of just get it up as quick as possible. I felt Arsenal were doing the same as well. They were starting to pin us back a bit more. I just felt that both teams had lost the midfield battle at this point. There was no control of the game. It was we'll have a go, then you can have a go, then we'll have a go kind of thing. See who can get a shot off stuff. And I felt that the opportunity was there to get probably Souček, or I would have taken Snodgrass on earlier, because we were getting plenty of corners and that. weren't really doing much. They weren't hitting anything. I thought Creswell put in a couple of nice ones in the second half. I thought Nobles were pretty poor in the first half. There's so much good tonight, Gonzo, but it's just the feeling of like almost being ineffective. We weren't composed enough, we weren't clinical enough, and that's overriding the positivity at the minute. Luckily the results have gone our way a little bit today as well, so we're not going to get punished. Brighton got a point, which is a bit annoying. Newcastle's won, which is even more annoying, but Bournemouth's lost. Norwich has got beat, Watford's got beat, which is a big important one for me. So we're coming out of it okay, but then again it's just another missed opportunity. We had snatched that today, we had won today, we would have been above Brighton, we'd be sitting in 15th or something in the league, looking back at Watford and Bournemouth going, see you, because if we get a point against Wolves now, we're really starting to push away from you lot. Down you go. Individual players.
I think you were right about Antonio being involved. I think he was involved in everything.
Good and bad.
Yeah, he'd have a horrendous miss, then a great sprint, then a horrendous pass, then a great cross, and it was, I'd say, such an enigma. He's a weird player, and there's so much to admire. I do like him, and it's quite funny because there are some parts of you think, well, actually, I want him to come off, and in the other parts of you think, actually, he's the only one that's troubling the Arsenal defence, And I thought at one point, because he was so technically bad, his technique was awful today by and large, and you thought, well, actually, if you take him off, actually, the Arsenal players would probably be quite pleased to see him go off, because he was causing them so much trouble. So, I mean, a bit of a weird one from him. I felt sorry for Fornals today. I'm glad you mentioned it twice before I did, because remember we did a little video about, who are we a bit too harsh on, who do we go lenient on, and I know I sometimes feel like I'm a little bit harsher on Fornals, or Fornals, should I say. I felt sorry for him today. He's bright, he's switched on, he's technically good, and he knows the pass play, knows what he wants to do. There are a couple of occasions where he had bright ideas. There was one lovely one where he thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to flick it over the ball was sort of there to be done the half volley, and he flicked it over the defender's head. Defender's going this way, and he flicked it over his head to run round that way. Did the flick, couldn't get the ball because the defender was quicker than him. So the trick was good and well executed, but he just wasn't quick enough to do it. There was another point where he looked really, really slow. Just 3 or 4 times, though, actually, he's not got the pace for this game. In that position, I don't feel that position does him an awful lot of favours. And I did feel there was a slight difference to today's formation. I did think he occupied left more than he did against Southampton, and I did feel that against Southampton we very much had Antonio and Bowen close to Haller a lot more. So Bowen was a lot deeper, and I understand it's Arsenal, they're better than Southampton, so it didn't quite manifest itself. I just found today Fornals didn't pop up in the number 10 position as much as he did against Southampton, which had 2 impacts. Number one, it meant he was having to contest the game in an athletic standpoint, and he was getting beaten because he's not particularly fast. And also it meant, from our point of view, he wasn't able to influence the game with his vision and his passing and his intelligence from the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, anybody else? Any other players except for Niles?
Diop I've covered. Cresswell wonderful so many times. I really like the back four. I thought Ngakia, I like the simplicity of Ngakia. You will be able to look at today and you'll be able to point to 1 or 2 mistakes. I understand. But this is his 3rd game in a row, is it? Something like that. I want him to play for the rest of the season in that position. He's learning on the job, and actually I like the way he's learning, but sometimes there's a bit of wisdom. He'll try and marshal the ball out. There came a point near the end where he marshalled the ball out. It was him against Aubameyang, and he marshalled the ball out and just let it go out for a goal kick. And never at any point did you think Aubameyang was thinking, oh, this is just a kid, I'll be a bit smarter, I've got more experience. No, he looked like a proper bona fide right back at that point. Obviously, he made that time when he went on the overlap and he could put a crossover for Haller, who went down afterwards just for an injury. He tried to go on an overlap on 2 other occasions as well. Didn't get the ball, and you could see he was quite frustrated. He was saying, come on, why didn't you give me the ball there? So there's a desire not to shrink into his shell and to try and impact himself on the game, and that's character, and that's a really, really good thing to see. And I thought that was Noble's best game for 4 or 5 games actually, and Rice was decent again, not the 9 out of 10 standard he might have been in, So yeah, there are positives today. It just feels a bit crap at the end,
Do you know what I'm disappointed we didn't see? Do you know in the first half we had a free kick and Creswell shot and it went over the bar. Rice was there in I'm going to shoot position as well. Do you know Noble was there to lay it off, but Noble did left it for Creswell here. I thought this is interesting. How have we got a new free kick taker here? Because it very much looked like Noble was going to lay it off for Rice or Creswell was going to shoot, and I was waiting for another free kick in that sort of area just to see if Rice would get his shot, because he does have like a clean hit on him actually. So I was quite intrigued by that when I saw. I'm just one to watch maybe for the next game against Wolves. Get a free kick at his head box. I wouldn't be surprised if Declan Rice steps up to have a blast at it. I thought Rice's today. I noticed a lot of time where Rice's reading of the game is just magnificent. He didn't actually touch the ball. It's just the way he covers players. There was a time Pepe was coming into the box. He was wriggling in between Ogbonna and Fornals. He sort of slipped in him, and Rice came over and put the tackle in. But you could just see, when you watch it, Rice is just watching the play thinking, I might need to go here. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to hold my ground, because hopefully I don't need to. But just in case they struggle, because in the same instance, Aaron Caswell was behind them and didn't move. And I just thought you can just tell how good Rice is in reading the game compared to some of our other players. When one of them doesn't budge and the other one's in there defending him. Because there was a couple of times I think Fornals went forward and Rice come over to cover. Mainly that side, because of Pepe's pace. He knew if Creswell was to get caught out, there's no chance Fornals catching him, hence why he got booked early on. Rice's reading was just brilliant. I thought he gave away a couple of sloppy fouls and stuff today, but both teams were at that. I thought Bourne was fantastic. He's just a breath of fresh air, isn't he? When he gets it, he's got the Felipe Anderson. Do you know the one thing Felipe Anderson's got? Antonio's got it, but the reason a lot of people, yourself in particular, I know you won't mind me saying this, but the reason you want to see Anderson in the team is because he can travel with the ball. We've now got Bowen that can do that as well. Finally, we've got another player you can give the ball to. At one point in the second half, he dribbled across the pitch from right to left. He just gave it to Creswell and started dribbling and started jogging back himself. I thought, fantastic. A guy with confidence, someone that wants the ball. It took him 93 seconds to get the ball, cut in, have a shot, and I thought, this is what we need to see. If Allaire had the work rate of Antonio, he would have scored 2 today, I think. He's frustrating. But then again, there was that shot he had in the second half. Leno made a good save, but he moved pretty quick. The ball fell, bang, he moved, he got his slide tackle in. It was like a slide tackle type shot, and I just thought, good. But then other times we're breaking, he's quite... I don't feel like he's sprinting. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
He does like a fast jog. And I think either you're slow or you're not running. There's one of the two, right? But I don't see him head down, chin on chest, puffing, running full out to get into the box and give me the ball. And he's jogging, watching the ball. And I think, come on, shift. Like, eventually that player is going to look up in the box expecting to see you there. And you're not there because you're busy 3/4 jogging behind the play watching it. I thought the defence was really good, all 4 of them, really, really good. I thought Fabianski was good. The one thing that impressed me with Ngaki, I was right at the end of the first half, and Nketa, how you pronounce his name, went down and there was a half a penalty shout. He claimed for it. The Arsenal player claimed for the pen. That can shake a player's confidence sometimes. You almost, next time you hesitate a little bit, go, hang on a minute, I caused a bit of like a VAR dispute almost. But he didn't. He's really impressed me. You said about his character, I agree with that. That has impressed me most about him. He's come up against the last couple of weeks though. He's had Mane and now Aubameyang. He's had 2 world-class players against him, and he's done fine. That was Aubameyang's quietest game for Arsenal that I've seen in a long time. So credit all around. So yeah, anything else you'd like to say about the game?
No, not really. Just
frustrating.
Just a bit annoying, mate. Just a bit annoying, but we deserve. That. That's not a very good Arsenal team, Geo. I've got to say, they probably need 6 players or something like that. You asked, I don't know what video it was. You asked if Arsenal would get top 4
next season. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not without major surgery. That being said, they do have a really world-class player in Aubameyang. As I said, we did keep him quiet, and they do have some decent players, and I do think they were there for the taking today, and we didn't take. That's really the problem, and that's why it's annoying. And there will be, before now, at the end of the season, a comparable team to West Ham will beat Arsenal, and we'll look back and think, oh, we perhaps should have done it in the same way that Watford went to beat Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a frustrating game. I feel I'm torn on this one. Half of me is quite upbeat, thinking I'm happy with how we played. I'm impressed with how. If it finished 0-0, I'd have been happy. I'd have thought a point's good. A point is good. We keep going. But we've not got any, and I'm just a bit cautious. Games are running out now, and I think that's what scares everyone a little bit. And we've got Wolves at home next, which is not going to be easy. I know Brighton's gone there and got the point. I know they've got their away in Greece on Thursday, but it's still a tough game, and I feared that one more than today for some reason. I just feared it more, and I probably will. But plenty of positives to take from today, Gonzo. Plenty of positives. A few worries, but we've not discovered anything in terms of negativity. We've not discovered anything we didn't already know. So we're not sitting here thinking, how has Antonio missed all these chances? We know he's going to miss chances. He's got 2 goals this season for a reason, mainly injuries, but it's also because of his finishing. He missed that big chance against Southampton last week. The keeper saved it, but he should be scoring that. Yeah. But it gets overlooked because he has scored, and we've gone on to win the game 3-1. If Ali scored today, for example, we might have overlooked Antonio's missed opportunities a bit more than we currently are, because we would have went on to win the game. But we're not coming away. The defence wasn't a disaster. There was no individual errors. I think the players will come away with more confidence than they start the game with, if that makes sense. I think they'll come out of there thinking, you know what, we've played well today. We're putting a good shift. We're just a bit unlucky, a bit unfortunate. We'll go again next week.
Well, there's not, if I may, just before we finish, there's not a lot to work on now at the training ground.
No.
There's really not. I think it'll show Diop the tape of that tape, whatever they call it, the file, the MP4, whatever you want to call it. It was David Moyes' old school. He probably will show Diop the VHS tape, and it was, so I think they'll look at that. I think in the remainder they'll say, well, more of the same. They'll probably, and this is really good when your trainer is really good about to spend a week and you just carry on, same formation, same drill. Let's keep drilling that back four who are looking great, and it's not going to take much. The players will be disappointed. I mean, maybe they might, work on a couple of things. They're perhaps going to manage the end a little bit differently, as I said. But actually, I think they'll get back on that training pitch, and the coaching staff will say, you know what, that's fine. We'll do a few more finishing drills, and and we'll look forward to the next game, which is good.
If we do this every game from now till the end of the season, we will win more. We will win more than we lose, and we will then stay up. It's almost like a law of averages game a little bit. I suppose the only 2 questions, we'll cover this in preview. The only questions Moyes has got now is what you're going to do with Soucek. Does he go back in? And are you going to keep Snodgrass out of your team? Because you speak about Moyes being old school. I bet you Moyes will be sitting there thinking, if only I had someone good taking corners today, we might have scored one of those corners. Could we scored? Diop scored a corner against Liverpool, for example. He might be thinking, we've missed an opportunity. We've got, 7 corners today, perhaps. How many were really on the money? 2?
Just on that, did you say on one of the latter corners, they kept Ogbonna back?
No, but I noticed in the first half, Rice didn't go in the box for corners, and I was getting a bit pissed off with that.
I'm really surprised. Yeah, second half, because because they broke, and as they were breaking, and Gakia was there, and I thought, okay, is he on his own? No, Ogbonna's with him. Hold on, Ogbonna wasn't just in the base. He's a massive asset from corners. Don't sort that out, certainly.
Yeah, funny old tactics, perhaps. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this review, drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're around here. We're ready to record our player ratings for the patrons. If you are not a patron, link in the description below if you wish to join up from as little as $3.50 per month. It'll help us out, sponsor the channel. Be good, thank you. And you'll find out which ratings we're going to give players. Giving you a little bit of an insight earlier on. So, Gonzo, I shall see you. Well, I'll see you in a minute for the next video, but I'll see you again shortly.
Man of the match?
Oh yeah, how have I forgot that? I will say Bowen.
Yeah, good. Yeah. What I was going to say, I'm not going to disagree with that. I am going to disagree with that because I'm going to pick someone else. But good shout. I'm going to go Aaron Cresswell.
Interesting. Fantastic. Right, catch you in a bit.